Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I'm calling it Complacent again. We're going to take a look at the S&P 500, my preferred count, and the alternate count. We've got a red line on the screen, and we'll see what happens when we break that red line, if and when we break the red line. Then we're going to take a look at one of my key indicators and check in on oil and the energy-related stocks, XLE and one of the stocks within XLE. So let's get in here and dive in and look at the S&P 500. It was up 13 points on Friday. It was really about 0.5%, which is what the Dow was on Friday. So we're getting closer and closer here to this red line. The red line is right across the high of January 26th. And we break that red line, this bearish scenario here goes away. It just doesn't work. So let me step back. Here's what we're currently tracking. We're tracking an intermediate wave 1 to the downside and intermediate wave 2 pullback. Within that intermediate wave 2, we've got a 3-wave A, B, C in here. And so that's the pattern that we've got. Within that C wave, we've got an A, B, C. This is a leading diagonal for A. Okay, so that's the pattern we've got. And where does it go from here? Well, if we start to break down, like I'm expecting us to, this will accelerate in intermediate wave 3. And within intermediate wave 3, we'll start to count the minor waves and then go from there and see how the wave structure plays out. So that's the path forward here with this preferred count. Let's take a look at the alternate count. The alternate count says, okay, if we take out that high, let me get my crosshairs. If we take out this high up here by pushing a little bit further, then it confirms that we are not in that bearish scenario, and it confirms that we are in some kind of more bullish scenario. So this is the one I've got, which is a triangle. It can't really be a flat. This B wave didn't pull far enough. Didn't retrace enough of A to call it a flat. Okay, so right now this is the best picture I've got on it, is to say it's a triangle. So if you say it's a triangle, that means we're working a wave 5 upwards, and within that wave, minor wave 5, we're talking about an impulsive type of pattern. That's, could morph into some kind of diagonal, but right now I've got it laid out as an impulsive wave. So if that's the case, then I'm targeting this minute wave 3 up here at potentially reaching 2943.89. So let's just call it 2944. Okay, that would assume that wave 2 is a flat and actually would be a running flat, and then we're going on the way up to wave 3. Now, wave 3 doesn't have to go that far. It can continue to go even further. So we'll just watch the wave structure as we go on up here. This is the existing channel that we've got so far. It's really just the base channel, because you're just talking about the starting point and wave 2 projecting from the high of wave 1 out into the future. If it truly turns into an impulsive wave, I would expect this to break the top end of the channel in a wave 3 and show some strength. So that's the picture there. Let's take a look at the VIX. And what is the VIX telling us? The VIX is telling us that we're extremely complacent right now, and that's why I'm saying it's complacent again. We closed at 11.64 on Friday, and that's exactly where we closed on June 6th, 11.64. And those are the two lowest closes, okay? So it's the same close, but the two lowest instances since the peak back here on January 26th. So on January 26th, we got an explosion in the VIX after that, and of course the market sold off. So these are the two lowest closes since January 26th, and that's where we're getting right now. So there's really just no fear and extreme complacency in the market right now. And this is the lowest readings really, other than the cluster of what we had in January, of course, which, and that falls on the very low readings for during the year of 2017, which saw extreme complacency. All right, so this is the picture now. Let's take a look at oil. I want to look at oil first. I'm going to pull up USO. Where are you? Here we go. And let's take a look at the weekly chart. And that is, I want to go to the preferred count. And wow, that's not very good. That's a little better. I know what it's trying to do. It's trying to give me the whole picture in here. And let me go up a little bit like this. So here's what I think is going on with oil. I think we're in a major move to the downside, and that I think we have one more cycle wave to the downside. The Roman numerals are cycle wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And, you know, this cycle wave 4 in here is a beautiful little, you know, ABC zigzag pattern back. And so let's dive in and take a look at that, because that's going to get us a little closer in here. And this is, where's my hotkey? Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here's the all of C. Here, 5-wave structure for C. Impulsive wave. Okay, let me highlight that. Okay, here's the impulsive wave. And this 5th wave turned out to be an ending diagonal, an expanding ending diagonal pattern, okay? And so now what we've gotten out of this is we're starting to break down. We had this, it wasn't a perfect reversal candle, but it ended up being that. We got a little 5-wave move down. We got a wave 2 pullback, and now I'm watching for this to continue to sell off. That is my expectation on USO. I'm expecting this to continue to sell off. All right, so given that we've got that going on, let's take a look at XLE. XLE was the weakest of the ETFs this last week. It was the weakest performer. And, well, actually, let me go to the weekly chart. So here's the big picture on XLE. Here's the 2008 high, and here's the low. And I think what we've got is this big triangle type pattern that's playing out in here. And so given that that is because a lot of overlapping and a lot of 3-wave type structure, and so therefore I am looking for another move to the downside here in XLE, which would complete wave E, and then we'll see where we go, assuming that plays out right now. But that is the picture I've got on the weekly chart. Let's take a look at the daily. And it's interesting that coming off that point from D, we had a strong move down, but then all we've done is chop sideways, okay? So I'm expecting that we will break down out of this and go lower out of here to complete that wave E. And it should be a zigzag. It should be a big zigzag type of pattern. So we'll watch and see if that's what we get. Again, carving out a scenario that says, here's the expectation. Now, what are we getting? Okay, is the market confirming our expectation, or is it doing something different? All right, so the other thing I want to take a look at is, since we're talking about XLE, what are the stocks within XLE? Because if I'm expecting XLE to sell off, then I'm going to be looking for short opportunities and places to buy puts or go short in XLE. Well, here's the top 15 holdings of XLE. Valero, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Schlumberger, Occidental Petroleum, Halliburton, Anadarko Petroleum, Kinder Morgan, Marathon Petroleum, ONEOK, Concho Resources, I think it is, EOG Resources, Pioneer Natural Resource, and then Phillips 66. Right now, the insiders in the membership that I've got, we've got a position on Schlumberger. Let me go ahead and talk about Schlumberger real quick, and then that'll be it for this weekend. Here's SLB. When I look at the weekly chart on Schlumberger, this is the pattern. It's somewhat similar to what we just looked at, although it's not the same. I don't have carved out a big triangle, but here is the position, and this is, you know, basically saying that I'm expecting a big move to the downside here to complete this wave C, cycle wave C, which would be 5 waves to the down. So therefore, I think we're in a wave 3. It's just a matter of where in wave 3 are we. And when I look at the intermediate waves, in here. Actually, let's go to the intermediate waves. I think we're in intermediate wave 3, and so we're looking for this thing to break down. And you know, right now it's been doing a little bit of chop to the sideways, but that's the picture. That's what I'm looking for, SLB. So that's it for this weekend. If you felt like the video was helpful, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And you know, you get to hit the little bell button there, and you'll get reminders of when the videos get published. And remember to share the video, and it's easy to do. And if you would like to get more insight and trade ideas and education, that type of thing, check out the membership over here at joehenches.net. Just click on my little face on the screen. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on the next video.